this over here. And I'll bring this up. There we go. Okay, here we go. All right, can you hear me? Let's see. I think we're live. Let's see. It looks like I got some thumbs up here from Cat Bubba. Hey. Let's give it a couple more minutes. Usually by now we have quite a few more people on than it is today. I think the day is Friday, so probably
the team decided to do a fun competition.
Probably a 4 day. Turn your sound down on that thing when you do sound. Hold on one second. Let me fix something. Let me have that. I'll fix it for you. Hold on one second. Let me fix something. Let me have that. I'll fix it for you. We gotta get ourselves together here. We gotta get ourselves together here. Well, there's the delay. We gotta get ourselves together here. Well, there's the delay. There we go. Sound off. There we go. All right. Well, why don't we just get started here? And it's so glad to see everybody coming on. Hello, everybody. It's good to see you. I'm glad to be home, safe and sound. So good sleeping in my own bed. And of course, we've got all the dogs here. They're so glad they went ballistic when we finally got home. Hello from Chicago, and Janie, and Bartholomew, and Gregory. Hello there. So glad you joined us today. Well, I thought today what I'd do is kind of do a recap of where I've been for the last couple of weeks. I've been to a lot of different guitar stores, played who knows how many guitars. I even picked up this little cheapo thing. This was $230 with a solid top. It's actually one that I'm going to gift to someone. So, but it's really kind of a neat thing. It's amazing what Ibanez puts out for $230. It does need a little work on these frets on the edges, but once I get that done, this thing is going to be a great player. But yeah, so why don't we, before I get started, are there any burning questions? I'll give you a chance. And then I'll just start talking. Hello, Wisconsin and Australia and Texas. Oh my goodness, from all over. I enjoyed Texas so much. We had a good time there. Oh, great. Georgia. Hello from Georgia. All right. Now, if I say all these names, some of them I'm going to really do a bad job on them. All right. Well, let me just get started then and tell you about the trip. So we left, I'm not sure exactly what day it was in September.
Okinawa just said hello.
Oh, Okinawa? Is there Okinawa? Hello there from Okinawa. Wow, that's amazing. All the way from Okinawa. And well, all right. So we started this trip a few weeks ago. I don't know, a couple weeks ago now. And the first stop that we made was in Salt Lake City, because it takes you a day to get there. And so we went to Salt Lake City, and I don't know if you've ever been to a store by the name of Acoustic Music. Acoustic Music in Salt Lake City is a must if you're ever there. I mean, you have to go. Can everybody hear me all right? Is the sound? Well, let me turn on there. Is the sound clear enough for you? Okay. Let me know if you can't hear or see or something. Tell me. So anyways, we went to Acoustic Music. I had been there before, but I had to go back simply because they had a guitar there by the name of Iris. I don't know if you're familiar with Iris guitars, but I'm telling you, if you get a chance to play a guitar called Iris, you will fall in love. They are made here in the United States. They're all solid wood. They have an open pore feel to them when you're playing them. They're just beautiful instruments. And I fell in love with one of them simply because it was a small body. I think they call it the CH. It was real small. It looked kind of like an hourglass, sort of, and it was so comfortable to hold. But when you played it, you did not know it was a small body guitar. You'd never know it. It was absolutely fabulous. So if you ever get a chance to play Irish, you got to check that out. And if you ever get a chance to go to Salt Lake City, you have to go to acoustic music. It's not just the store had everything in it, from Santa Cruz to Collings to Breville to Martin. It was just amazing. I know she's going to be getting in some Bouchers in there, and I hope I'm saying these names right because I always botch them. But I'm telling you, that store, when you walk in, you can just get lost in there. It's not a huge place, but it doesn't have to be. It's just filled with these beautiful handmade instruments that you could spend hours just enjoying. But it's not just the guitars, it's the owner. Her name is Meg, and she is just, I just love her. So wonderful lady, wonderful story behind how she ended up having such a fantastic store. I'll have to, if you ever want to hear about the story, I think I have a video out where I go into detail about how she actually ended up buying that store and what she went through to get it. So anyway, she's just a great person, great store, great guitars. My favorite there was the Iris. Although there was a Martin, an OM Martin there that was, I think it was about $8,000 that I also enjoyed. It was a 14 fret, had beautiful inlay work on it. And then there was also, see, this is what happens. You know what? If I was rich, I'd need a truck to get home. But at least I get to play them. I mean, it's really something when you get a hold of these guitars. So yeah, there was a Santa Cruz there also. It was a 12 fret Santa Cruz, and oh my goodness, it played beautiful along with the Breville. I mean, you got to. I'm telling you, you got to do it. You got to go to that store. So that was the first one.
Frank and Jackie.
Oh, thank you, Frank and Jackie. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. So yeah, it's really exciting when you go into stores like that. It makes my heart pound. I'm telling you.
And one other thing, it's Boucher.
It's Boucher. Okay, thank you for whoever fixed that.
Edward.
And feel free to tell me because I'm telling you, I get it backwards. It doesn't matter. But I love those guitars. They're wonderful instruments. Thank you again, Frank and Jackie. Thank you so much. That is so sweet. So then we went on to Fort Bridger, and that was in Wyoming. That's not a guitar store, but it is a great stop. Fort Bridger was a fun stop. It was a lot of history there of an old fort, and I actually did a couple of different guitar lessons there, and it was fun to do. It was fun to be there and all that history, and it was just a beautiful day, and it was just the perfect day to go see something like that. So the next place we went to was kind of a shock. If you see any questions, stop me. Okay. So the next place we went to was called Aliens and Strangers. Now, we didn't expect to go to this place. We were just driving through. Let's see, where was that at? That was, I thought I wrote it down. It was also in Wyoming, though, and I forgot the name of
of the shop.
Where the city name, I forgot. Sydney. It was in Sydney. And so we were driving along, and so I looked and thought, oh, this is a guitar store. It's called Aliens and Strangers. And I thought, oh my goodness, is this, who knows why somebody would call their guitar shop that name? So we decided we had to go, and it was open. And oh my goodness, I love that store. It was so neat. Actually, when we asked him, Aliens and Strangers, tell us, why this name? It's actually from a scripture in the Bible. So there's a scripture that talks about pilgrims and strangers. And so that's what he named his store after. But he also did some plays off of it showing, aliens from outer space. It was just kind of cute and fun, but the store is wonderful. The staff there, absolutely fantastic. One of the pluses about buying from his store is the fact.
Danita.
Oh, Dania, thank you so much. Wow, thank you. One of the pluses about aliens and strangers, first of all, when you buy a guitar from them, if you get online and you buy something from them, they not only set it up before it leaves the store, and they know how to set up guitars. Every guitar I pulled off the wall at that store was tuned, played amazingly well. Nothing was, there wasn't one that I picked up that I thought, oh, this could be used. They need to set this thing up. It just didn't exist. And that's very unusual for any store. And Bernice, stop barking. That's the dog, Bernice. She always waits till we get busy.
A lot of people are talking about Nate. You and Nate.
Oh, we're gonna get to Nate. I haven't.
Okay.
Don't. We got to go down the line here.
There's a lot of people responding about Nate.
He's another great guy. Oh my goodness!
He's a special guy.
I'm saving that one. That was
He's
just a special.
He's the story all of his
Nate
own.
is. Oh, he's just amazing, and a guitar player like you wouldn't believe.
Oh, it's awesome.
Anyways, well, hold on that one though. Let me just finish on aliens and strangers. Okay. I have to tell you, because the plus about that store is their setups on every guitar were perfect. I have gone to a lot of stores, and that's just not true anywhere you go. Most places, like I went to Wildwood. I don't know if you know, Wildwood's a big, huge company, and they're out of Colorado. That was on a road trip before, and every guitar was so unset up, and they did it on purpose because they like to personalize, and I understand that. But they were so out, I couldn't enjoy playing the guitars. No offense if you're out there, you had great guitars. They just felt horrible. So you couldn't get a sense of what you were playing. But anyways, back to Aliens and Strangers. Everything was set up beautiful. So if you do buy something from them, you can be sure it'll be set up perfectly. And his shipping is free. I mean, how can you beat that? So he's a great store. And the one guitar that stood out there that I really liked, and it's on my list that someday when I'm rich, but actually I will be doing it. It's the Fender Highway Series Dreadnought. And the reason why I like that guitar, you can see playing it, is because I do play in church. And I thought that would be a great guitar that I could take and leave in church and actually it'd be great to play. Thank you, Danetta. And also JJ, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. That is so sweet. So that was Alien and Strangers, great store. They had a silent Yamaha there too that was just fantastic. It's just a skeleton of a body. Have you seen that thing? You wouldn't expect it to even have sound. It was like, what could this thing do? But when you plugged it in, oh my goodness, it was fantastic. No tea today. I've got Dutch Brothers. Okay, so the next place I went to was Palen Music.
Yay!
That was the highlight of the trip.
Woo, woo, woo.
I mean, there is a store. Oh my goodness.
You have to go.
You got to go. It's just like acoustic music up there. I feel the same way about that place, but I loved Palen Music Center. And I have to say, I went to the Acoustic Shop and they're great, but I love Palen Music Center. and if I lived in that area, I would be there all the time. They'd probably say, is that her again? It would just be a place to go visit. Anyways, I like to play guitars. Can you tell? I can't help myself. Oh, there we are. There's Brandon Noyes. Thank you so much.
Noyes.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you. Now, why did I like Palen Music Center? Well, first of all, you felt like you were home. And if any store was ever had open arms, when you walk in, sometimes that people see you and they kind of size you up. Oh, here comes an old lady. And they kind of just set you aside. It's like you don't exist. You're sort of the silent person. That happens sometimes. It's something. It's a senior citizen thing. If you're old, you know what I'm talking about. But that wasn't true for Nate and his crew and his staff. I was met with open arms. What can we do to help you? What would you like to see? When I walked in, though, I don't know. Somehow I was drawn to the Taylor room. They have a room. Actually, it's two rooms just for Taylor guitars, and it has beautiful displays in there explaining the tone woods, and it's just great to see. But the first Taylor I picked up, oh my goodness, that thing was absolutely amazing. You got to listen to the video to hear it. But
Nate says we're ready for you to move to Missouri.
oh, I would love it. I'm coming back to visit you. That place was fantastic. So, anyways,
But Bubba or
Bubba, we'll call him Bubba, okay, Bubba? Thank you
no.
so much. He writes me all the time. I love his
Oh.
writings. Anyways, okay, so the first guitar that I played was my absolute favorite. It was a Taylor. It was in that room. It probably, I think it was $8,000, something like that. But that guitar, I had a redwood top on it. I'm pretty sure it was a redwood top, and oh my goodness, it was just like I could have sat there all day and played that
It was a
thing.
custom.
Yeah, well, they're
They're
custom.
custom.
They're one of a kind. I mean, just beautiful. Then as you went through the guitars, like they had some that had wild horses on it, and oh, just fantastic! What a great place if you want to play pristine Taylor guitars that are set up perfect, that are treated well. I mean, it's a fantastic place, and what a wonderful display. So then I wanted to see the McPherson. I was interested in playing a McPherson. I know they're up north, and I had someday I'm going to go visit them. But I wanted to see their carbon fiber because I'd never had a chance to play the Sable, and I heard so much about it. I hate to say this, but I was a little bit disappointed. And I know I don't talk negative, and I've played the wooden McPhersons, and they are absolutely fantastic. But the carbon fiber is a little bit of a letdown. So, but anyways, you have to try it. I'm not trashing them. I'm just saying that I guess maybe what it was is I played that Taylor. Maybe that's what it was, and there was just no comparison. I mean, it was like, oh my goodness. But there were other guitars in the second room that I went to that I loved. One was it was a Hummingbird. It had that old sound, and I don't know how many people that heard it on that video made comments about it, and it is true. You when you hear that sound and you're old like me, it just does something to you. You can just hear it play itself. That is a great guitar. And there were let's see, what other guitars do you have in there? A lot of I don't know if he didn't have Breedville. It was Breedloves, I think, that were in there. I didn't get a chance to play them too much because the highlight of the visit happened. Nate walked through the door. And we sat down and I played the McPherson. It was okay. I'm not bad mouthing it. You probably never sell it now, but anyways, I played that, and I think he played a Martin. I'm not sure, but we had such a good time just doing
It
a
was
jam.
awesome.
It was really good, but to hear him play was like it was just the highlight of my trip. I enjoyed it. He made his guitar sing, and you got to hear it to know what I'm talking about. I mean, he made it sing. That guy could play.
Yes.
So uh, let's see what
He
else.
said it was a blast playing with you.
Oh, thank you. Well, it was just so much
It was an
fun.
honor for you.
Yeah, it was an honor, definitely. So Palen Music. I know you have 10 other stores, or 9 other stores. I probably should put it on my list to go see each one of them. But I love Springfield, and I love the attitude of the store, the people. I mean, it was just a lot of fun there and very comfortable. I felt welcomed. I felt like I was at home, and I felt like I could go in there anytime and enjoy it. I mean, they even offered me coffee. I've never in my life had anybody offer me coffee at a guitar store. When I was buying a car, of course, they always offer you water, and then they take your keys. but never a guitar store. Anyways, all right. So we're gonna move on to the next place, and that was the Acoustic Shop, and that also is in Springfield. And I know that's a favorite of many. The people that are very professional. Let's just put it that way. So it has a totally different atmosphere, but it has a number of beautiful boutique guitars. And there was actually two guitars in there that I absolutely fell in love with, that I had a hard time walking away from as well. And They were real busy there that day, so we didn't get a lot of communication going on. But we were allowed to play and to take videos of a lot of different guitars that were just absolutely beautiful. But the one I just loved, I mean, I've got to buy one. It's a Firk and it's a baritone, and it was the blue line.
One of your
What?
followers said, "Here comes the Firk."
Thank you. Oh yeah, you got you be careful with that name. That's for sure. Anyways, we actually I had a chance to play that baritone. The Firk baritone is on my list. It is so deep, and the sound is so pure and so beautiful. Those are great guitars. They're right up there with the Iris. Okay, so
Frank and Jackie want to know, were any of the brothers around?
no, I don't think so. So I think that day that I was there, yeah, I don't think the owner, no one was there. So I didn't get a chance to meet anybody. And so there were just staff members there, and they were real busy. They had some people out front. They were loading cars. I think they were entertainers, and they were getting ready to go to a show or something. So there wasn't a lot of interaction, but it was okay. It was fine because they have beautiful guitars there, absolutely beautiful. And the other reason why I wanted to go there was the Atkin. So somebody corrected me, said, "Don't put the S on that." And okay, I'll take the S off. Atkin guitar. There was a 12 fret there that I really, really liked. I like 12 fret guitars. It takes that bridge and it sticks it back here, and the sound totally changes. The depth of the sound is beautiful.
Oh, someone, excuse me, said the brothers were in Winfield for the Walnut Valley Festival, then on to IBMA.
Oh, so see, they're super. Well, they're fantastic bluegrass players. So, I can imagine they were having a grand time. So, anyways,
And someone also wants to know what Firk you're talking about.
it's called the baritone. It's a baritone blue line. There's a yellow line as well, from what I understand. The blue line has a walnut back and sides, and I think it's a spruce top, if I remember right. Whereas the yellow line has a cedar top, and it's a redwood or rosewood back and sides. So I'm pretty sure I'm right about that.
And
But
someone,
I'd be happy with the walnut. It was like $1,600, and that thing played like you wouldn't believe it. It was fantastic. I even had people say, "You need that thing. When you started playing it, it inspires you. You know how you pick up a guitar, it inspires you. It's like at Palen's when I picked up that first Taylor, it was inspiring. This Firk was inspiring. So it was really something.
uh,
So
someone's asking, what do you think of the Eastman?
so Eastman guitars, I've only played a few of them so far, but every time I pick them up, I know they have the ones that I played were solid wood all the way around. They played beautiful. The price was amazing. But I have to say, when I looked at the price, I don't know if you've ever played McKinsey and Marr guitars. Are you familiar with those? I actually own them. I don't have one here, but I own a couple. I have a 12 string, and I also have the baby boat. And look back at my videos on those. They are all solid wood, and you can get one for like $750, something like this, $799, with a pickup, and not just any pickup, an LR bags. I mean, it's amazing the price on these things. Their mission is to create a boutique like guitar at affordable prices, and believe me, it's amazing. They're out of Canada, and yes, they are built by violin makers at a remote area in China, I think. But when they bring them back, they set them up, and they're perfect. I have two now, and they're both perfect. McKinsey and Mar, you had to check that out. So when I picked up the Eastman guitar, I'd say if I had to pick between the two, I'd go back to McKinsey Mar. No offense to Eastman. I think they're good guitars. They really are great. And I know you're going to find some that are going to match or even get better than the McKinsey and Mar, simply because there are no two guitars alike and you really got to play them. And it has to fit your preference. And that just happens to fit my preference, the ones that I bought. So yeah, Eastman's a good guitar. It's wonderful, and they are affordable. And I know a lot of people love them. And the fact that they're using really good tone woods or solid woods with them, it goes a long way. It's wonderful. Any other questions on that?
Someone's asking, have you tried a recording king? Their latest model has a Fishman pickup.
I have not tried them yet. I've heard about them from someone else. They asked me about it, but I've yet to try it. And I need to find one and check it out. I don't know what stores those are in, though. I've never seen them. I don't think I've seen them anywhere that I've gone actually visited. So yeah. So
then Woody is saying the guitar you played on your trip that got my attention was the Alvarez.
Oh, that was at Barnett Music Exchange, I think. Yeah, that guitar was amazing. I mean, that Alvarez was fantastic. And it played, I mean, your fingers bounced off the strings. You know, it almost like danced. There was no work. You didn't. Sometimes it takes a little bit to get adjusted to a guitar neck. There was no time, no need to get used to it. It was like I'd been playing it forever. It was beautiful, beautiful guitars. Okay, so let me go back to my trip. So the Acoustic Shop, that was great, but the last guitar was an Atkins 12 fret. And when I keep saying it wrong, sorry. Atkin makes a very interesting top. When you look at it, it almost looks like it's checked. It's like they make it road worn before it has a chance to get road worn. They look old fashioned, but they play amazing. I mean, those are great guitars, Atkin. You got to try them. And I like the 12 fret. Uh-huh.
Is the baby boat considered a parlor?
Yes, it is. It has about a 13 and a half inch, almost, it's it's just under 14 inches, the bout. And it is a parlor guitar, and it plays like it's a triple O. You would not know. I played it with a jumbo, a Gibson jumbo. I played against a Gibson 17-inch jumbo, and that thing kept up with it. It was amazing. It just I don't know if it was the range it was in, but when we played together, it just complemented. It was beautiful. So yeah, that's a great guitar, the Baby Boat. Actually worth every penny. And okay, so moving on. Let's see, we went to the Acoustic Shop. Then there was Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Just 1 second, you got a couple people here. Someone is explaining about the Atkins are amazing. They flash freeze the lacquer to give it the vintage checked finish. And they're from Canterbury,
England. Oh yeah, thank you for making that comment. And that is true. That is a lacquer finish. That's exactly right. And it looks really neat. I mean, when you get this age, you appreciate it because it looks like all the guitars we played when we were young, and except they sound so much better and they play so easy. I mean, the guitars I learned down, your fingers would bleed by the time I got through with you.
Someone's asking. Ian Holt is saying that it's not often, but I see these guitar channels. Do you sing or accompany singers? And they were saying my best guitar is a Gibson J50.
Oh, a Gibson J50. Yeah, that's neat.
And it battered, but with a great tone and action.
Oh, yeah.
London.
I actually bought a used a J50, and I don't know if I left the video on there. It was a while back, and I had to redo it because when I got it, the whole bridge was ripped out, and there was a big hole here. So I had to completely remove the back and create a new a bridge plate, and then I could, once I put that bridge plate in, I could add a piece for the top, sand it all back down. That guitar sounded awesome when I put it back together, and it was a J50. It was really really neat. Those are great guitars.
Is asking, said, B. Rose said, "Hi, Cindy. I'm surprised you didn't come home with the Yamaha FS3."
Oh, that was from the
What's
last
your
place.
opinion on that?
Oh, it was great. That was the FS5, I think.
No, it
The
says
red.
FS3.
Oh, it was a 3. Okay, that was the red label. I remember that one, and I did not forget it. I really didn't
It
want
was
to.
between the one you bought. And
Yeah, I didn't want to spend money. Basically, I was trying to keep the budget intact, and it's really hard if you watch my videos and you start seeing the number of
She
guitars.
says I'm wrong.
It is FS5.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I knew I remembered. You don't forget guitars like that. That is an awesome guitar. It really is. At a great price. I think it was like $1,600, $1,400, somewhere around there. But then I kept thinking, well, the FERC baritone is that price, so I left it. Yeah, that's my first on the list. That thing is that baritone. That's got me. That's still. I've been looking them up and reading all about them. They just struck me. So I just was shocked. Anyways, so there we go. So let me see what else we got here. So then we went on to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and we went to a place called the Guitar House there. It was all vintage guitars, and they had displays that of all these oldies with famous players, their memorabilia from them personally that they had saved. Even when you looked up, you saw vintage guitars all the way up to the ceiling. It was quite the place. You have to go there if you're ever in Oklahoma. But I think the highlight of that trip was I met a wonderful player by the name of Jackson Jeffries. And I actually got a chance to play with him. I had videos of it. And when I put it on, it got removed because of the copyrights. He had copyrights on all his songs. He has an album out, and his music, it's country style. Jeffreys. Jackson Jeffries, and he's an unknown that should be known. This man's voice, oh my goodness, and his songs have such depth in the stories they tell. You got to get on there and check that out. So I got to play with him and enjoyed that so much.
It was beautiful.
It was the highlight. It really was. And they had great guitars there. They had some FERCs there, not a baritone. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have made it out the door without it. Anyways, it takes great restraint to play these guitars and walk away, let me tell you. And to go to so many stores now, I have so many that got away, I don't know what to say. So anyways, that was Tulsa, Oklahoma. And then we went to Barnett Music Exchange in Tulsa. And that place, they had Alvarez. That was the Alvarez that was, somebody just made a note of. I forgot the name of it, and he mentioned it on there. But oh my goodness, they had just come out with that particular model. In fact, they had gotten it the day before. Laureate, is that what they called it? The Laureate, yeah. It's actually a folk guitar in terms of the style. And Bernice just ran off with one of my guitar picks. My dog, she doesn't swallow them; she just chews them up.
And so gets your attention.
Yeah. That just drives me crazy. Bernice, that's not yours. Anyways, okay. So that was a great place. Barnett Music Exchange had great staff. They even had a dog named Ringo.
Oh yeah.
That does it right there for me. When you have a dog named Ringo standing there staring at you while you're playing guitars, you gotta have fun. It was so much fun, and the staff there were wonderful. There was a young man there, I forgot his name, but he was so helpful, just sweet. There was one guitar there that was just not set up right. We had a conversation about it. He took it, fixed it, brought it back. It was ready to go. And we just had fun. It was just a great place. Once again, it's a store you walk in. It's what every customer wants, is to feel welcome. Really, they want to feel like you're glad they're there, and not, oh my goodness, there comes an old lady. I'm going to move on and have my lunch.
Listen, Ian says CPH 630. Do you have an Atkins? I've never heard of them.
Atkin. No, I don't. I don't own an Atkin. No, I would like to. And if you get a chance to play them, you got to. I mean, they're I mean, just fabulous guitars from England, and fantastic guitars there.
And where's your subscribe pillow? It's behind you
Oh,
on the other side.
ta-da!
And also, Rick F wants to know, where's Tilly?
Does this tell the message or what?
Where's Tilly?
Tilly
Is asleep.
she's in the hallway, so she's not snoring. She's listening in, and Bernice is laying by our feet in this room, and Galen's off in the corner of the couch hiding because she doesn't want to be seen. And yeah, so here I am with the guitar. There's going to be a giveaway to. Actually, it's going to go to a missions trip. It's going down to South America after I put a pickup in it. You know, they don't have guitars, really. They can't afford them. So this will be a real prize for somebody that won't mind that it's laminated back in size. It does have a solid top. Okay. Okay, so where are we at? Okay, so we went to Barnett's. Then we went to Tarpley in Amarillo, Texas. And that was a really good store. They actually cater. You know, the town doesn't have a whole lot in Tarpley. I didn't notice it as being a big city there. Tarpley.
No, are you talking about Tarpley?
Tarpley Music in Amarillo, Texas.
Amarillo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They remember that was the place with the tiny violin.
Yeah. But that Amarillo is a big town.
Oh, it is? Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, that's right. Amarillo is. I was thinking Tarpley was the name of the city. Tarpley is the name of the store. See, I'm confused. I don't navigate without GPS, or we would be still driving.
That's why I'm driving.
It would be a mess. But anyways, I enjoyed that store. But when I got in there, they have a room just with violins because they focus on every type of player. And they had a room set with just beautiful guitars, including Taylors and Fenders and you name it, they had them. But they had one room that was for violins, and of course, I learned on violin when I was young. That's where I started learning music. And there was this violin. It was a 2/32 size, I think they called it. It was about this big. I thought it was a toy, and it turns out it was for real, and it really played. But they didn't have the bow, so I didn't get a chance to try it.
What's your thought on the Seagulls you played? For the price, I think they're hard to beat.
Oh, the S6s are fantastic. If I had a student that I was going to teach that that was comfortable with that size guitar, that would be a great choice because it would grow with you. I mean, those are guitars that will live forever. They'll grow up with you. And yes, I think they're fabulous. They have wild cherry back and sides and they just very bright sounding. They're beautiful guitars. Yeah, so the Godin guitars are fantastic, and I haven't had a chance to see. I didn't see any of them anywhere. I would like to play some of their electric series. They're kind of a cross, a hybrid between acoustic and electric guitars.
Back to Back wants to know, what pickup will you put in the guitar you're sending to South
This
America?
one here, I happen to have a sound hole pickup that I was going to put in it, but part of me wondered if I shouldn't put a K&K because it's passive and they don't have to deal with the batteries. It'd probably be the best thing because otherwise that pickup, the sound hole, I have a Fishman. It's a single coil, has a jack on it. I was going to stick it in there and got to thinking about those batteries. They're rare. They're smaller. They're little discs. They might be hard to find. So I might just spend another $100 and put the K&K in because they're inexpensive, but there's no battery. And the K&K sounds really, really good.
Someone said here, we need to teach Tilly to play the tiny violin.
I can see Tilly with a tiny violin. That's funny.
Tilly would stick up her
That is
nose
really
without.
funny. Yep. Okay, so moving on. So then we went to Grumpy Guitars. Then that place was a trip. First of all, Grumpy Guitars. Uh, well, they don't have a lot of acoustics in there. There was probably what 10 on the wall.
Maybe.
Yeah, it was more focused on the electric guitars because the other side had all kinds of guitars that you didn't see. But the one highlight in that store, they had 1944 the Zephyr, and it was an Epiphone. That thing is beautiful. That was a gorgeous guitar. It was old 1944 archtop that was beautiful. And so then moving on to Gott's Chalk.
Just 1 second here. Kathy Gilbert, she said, your purchase of the Kurtz guitar has me wanting one. It sounds so good in your hands. Since I watching you picked up my guitar and trying to play, how hard is it to play?
Okay, so here it is right here. I bought this Kreutz.
Fruits.
This is a Kreutz. And these, in Kansas, the company there makes violins. And so they wanted to make student guitars. And so they came up with this. And the price is right, $6.99. I bought it for $600. They gave me a deal on it. And so I got a sale price. But you can see it. This has a solid Koa top. And I couldn't leave it there. It played so well. And I know it's really hard to play over this. I've listened to some of my other videos. There's such a delay. Playing it is kind of worthless. But does it play well? Yes, it does. Did I make any changes to it when I brought it home? Yes, I did. But it wasn't because it was playing bad. The first thing I did was I checked to make sure the relief was okay, and it had a little room, so I made an adjustment on the truss rod and brought it down so that the action is where I like it is 0.09 if you measure them out, and it plays very easy, and there is no buzzing. I mean, this thing, there's no buzzing whatsoever. The frets are beautiful. There was one fret that I could feel up here, and I knocked it off with a little file. Other than that, this thing is fantastic. I mean, for $600, can you imagine getting a guitar that has a solid top like this? This one I am going to keep. I'm not giving it away, and I am going to put a pickup in it. And the back and sides are laminated, and I know that is a very controversial subject, but I guarantee, not because I'm old, this guitar will outlive me, and it'll outlive nieces and nephews and everyone else. That back and top will probably be good 40, 50 years, if not more. Excuse me, the back and sides, even if it is laminated. I'm telling you, it's all about playing them and listening. Do you like what it feels like? Do you like what it sounds like? Then you got a good guitar. And if it has problems, it's wood. You can fix it.
Oh, Kathy said she found a store about 2 hours from her that has the Kurtz.
Oh my goodness! Well, you need to go and check it out. Go play them. They actually only had two models up until just recently. The fall of this year, they're also putting out a new model. It's called the Sundance. It also is $6.99, and it has a solid top, laminated back and sides. This fingerboard is not wood; it's HPL. It's some kind of a composite. But the neck is a wood. I forgot the name of the wood, but it's similar to mahogany. And for $699, they have to cut corners someplace. When I put new strings on, I looked inside. It's nice and clean in there. The braces look like they're shaped really nicely. Everything is clean and beautiful inside. For this price, to spend that meticulous time at building it, they're good guitars. This is well worth it. And if you're a student, you want to learn, this would be a great guitar to learn on. This is a 15-inch bout though, so if you're not if you're a child, you wouldn't want this. You'd want something smaller like the Taylor Mini. When I played that Taylor Mini at the very same store I got this, I just loved it. Because you say, well, you love everything. Well, maybe I do, but but I really mean it. That is a great guitar, the Taylor Mini. It's fun to
Ian
play.
is saying he recalls that you mentioned keeping the costs down on the by the China factory.
Yeah, in terms of how they build them, the fact that they chose to use those woods, they're making them for students. So they had to find a way to cut. So I'm sure that's why the laminated back and sides. But does it change? This thing plays fantastic, and it has incredible sustain. And you can listen to my video, and you can hear how this thing sounds. It's a beautiful sounding guitar, and I don't know, did I get the one that just sounds great, or are they all like that? I mean, that's why if you do buy one, let me know what you think, because I wouldn't know that. There wasn't anything else to choose from, but this. And when you play the note, it just keeps on ringing. So it's beautiful. This is a very, very nice guitar, and I bought it when I was in Clovis, my last stop, Gott's Chalk, and another great store, family owned.
Very nice.
They actually have two stores, and they were so comfortable, so friendly. I mean, you walked in, people were just enjoying talking guitar and playing guitar and sharing what they had, and so proud of what they had. They had a used composite acoustic there. They're were made in the USA. They're now owned by PV, but it was a carbon fiber guitar, and that thing just played great. I mean, if I was to compare it to the McPherson, I like the CA better, the composite one, but it's called the Ox, and I don't think they're making them anymore. But it was a very, very nice guitar, and I owned a Rain Song until this cleaning lady dropped it. But it thing had busted into pieces, so I don't have it anymore, and I'm sad because I loved the sound of the Rain Song. And they no longer make those carbon fiber guitars. They're gone now. Great guitars.
Cat Bubba says enjoyed your earlier video with the Yamaha THR.
Great yeah,
travel amp.
Oh, that was so much fun. That's that little thing right there. You want to hand that to me?
Oh, sure.
She's talking. When I was at Aliens and Strangers, I picked this up, and it works on battery. It looks like a little lunchbox, very light, and I liked it because when we have family gatherings, I want something I can just grab it, throw it in the car, put some batteries in. I don't have to worry about where am I going to plug it in. And that thing has incredible sounds, different modes that you can put it in. And it's just really, really neat. Tones and the mic types. I had it in delay on that last video just for the fun of it. It's a blast to play through. But I like my Bose S1. I have to say, I'm using that right now. That thing is probably one of the best amplifiers I've ever owned. So anyways, so that was the trip. That was the end of it. Had a great time. Oh, there was a Zagger, however you say that, also at the Gottschalk in Clovis. The thing that they claim is their claim to fame is their setup. Unfortunately, this one's old and it wasn't set up right. I don't think it's their fault. I think someone, when I was checking it out, somebody just overdid it on the truss rod. They made some personal changes. So then the next the people came along and they couldn't figure out what to do with it. And what I'm thinking is that they actually it was so hitting the fret so much that they decided that they would just up it by half a step over standard tuning, and so it played funny. It needed a setup. It was messed up, but it wasn't far from getting back to normal again. If I had some time with it, I could have fixed that. So so that was the trip. We had a great time. And well, what time is it? I've been talking for 49 minutes. Oh my goodness. I didn't know I could talk that much.
Oh, yeah.
So, is there any other questions? Any other comments or um, yeah, Zager, that he is retiring, and Danny Zager is what I heard. Somebody told me that he retires a lot, but I think this is for real. I think he is retiring, and his son is going to be taking over. But I've yet to really sit down and play one that was set up right, or new from their factory, to see how they really are. So I can't make judgment on them. Um, and so that's that. I think that's the end. It was quite a trip. I had such a good time, and I enjoyed sharing that with all of you, and enjoyed listening to your comments, and uh, it's just been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed this so much.
Oh,
So,
Ian said it's 2:49 a.m. here in London.
oh
So
my
I'm
goodness.
gone. Thanks for the trip, chat, and the promo cushion. Good night, all.
Good night. Sleep good.
Ah.
All right. Well, we'll have another live coming up. I'm doing them one a month right now. I might up it to every other week, but
Someone wants to know how you've managed so long without coffee. And they're all saying how much they enjoyed your trip.
how I managed without coffee. Is that what she said? Coughing? Coffee?
Someone said, Apple of my eye media, been retiring for 2 years now, Sager. Sager.
Here we go. I'm having coffee. It's Dutch Brothers. This is my stop
Oh,
for today.
someone was real sweet and said, thank you also, Galen. I don't know who this, who's Rick App?
I don't know. Oh yeah, he's on there all the time. Hello there. Yeah, he writes, all kind. He's just one of my favorites that's out there. So, anyways, he has several times mentioned
And
you. So,
Danita says, more live shows, please.
all right. Well, maybe I'll do it every couple of weeks to start with, after I get my voice back from this one. All right. Well, it's been great, and for all of you that are staying awake for this, in whatever country you're from, and whatever day you're at, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming on here and supporting. Yeah, that's Dutch coffee. It's good. It is coffee. All right. Well,
People are saying goodbye and see you
thank
next
you. We'll
time.
see you next time. You have a wonderful day or night wherever you are in this world. All right. Bernice, don't lick.
I don't know.